Welcome to Inside Gaming. I'm Brian. It's weekend roundup time. So, we all know Nintendo's reputation, right? They're warm and cuddly. They're the home of Mario, Kirby, Splatoon. They're just the friendly gaming company that everyone loves. Well, according to some workers there, Nintendo has a much different reputation behind the scenes, and it is not pretty at all. So we've been getting reports for a while now about various labor issues that Nintendo has been having, and then this week Kotaku posted a blockbuster report. They talked with several different testers who said they have faced years of harassment working there. And sadly, it is similar to the story that we've seen at other gaming companies, lots of sexism and frat house behaviors. So let's sadly dig in. So Kotaku said they spoke to 10 sources and they all worked as testers at Nintendo at different points over the last 10 years. Now, a little background first. These were contract testers and Nintendo staffed its department with temporary employees from the contracting company Aerotech. And apparently it really sucked to work as a contractor for Nintendo. There were claims of gender discrimination when it came to promotions. They also said that sexist behavior was common and little was done to address it. One of their sources was a former game tester named Hannah, who was allegedly told to be less outspoken after she reported inappropriate behavior of a full-time Nintendo employee in a group chat. And it was very inappropriate, to say the least. The employee she reported allegedly posted a copy of a Reddit post they made detailing why Vaporeon was the best Pokemon to have sex with. They also justified why it was okay to be sexually attracted to Paimon, a Genshin Impact NPC who basically looks like a child. Not okay, and definitely not okay for work. Hannah was also apparently paid $3 less than a junior male tester. She finally got a pay increase, but that was after a long fight. She was also subjected to inappropriate comments by male colleagues. One comment told her, "Oh, you're a lesbian. That's kind of sad." Another former tester said her department, quote, "really felt like a frat house sometimes." She said that male coworkers made jokes about gender stereotypes and female characters who got their skirts flipped. When she complained, she was told she had to be tough to work in product testing. Some of the people interviewed by Kotaku specifically mentioned a project testing lead at Nintendo of America who, quote, "went after all the associate girls and frequently commented on their appearance and their weight." A group of testers sent a letter earlier this year asking for better working conditions. They said it was an unsafe and uncomfortable environment for female testers, and some of their stories got really dark. One former contractor claimed a more senior tester stalked her between 2011 and 2012. He made calls and sent text messages. One witness felt they were disturbing. The stalking victim told Kotaku she cried at her desk, had daily panic attacks, but she didn't feel like she could speak up because the man was, quote, "friends with the right people." She told Kotaku that he said verbatim that he would get me fired if I reported it. Jeez. Lots of sources talked about the lack of advancement opportunities at Nintendo also. One tester who worked on Breath of the Wild said, "Your chance of being converted to full-time was probably worse as a girl. It's usually guys who get promoted. They're usually all friends. They watch the Super Bowl together." Women apparently also very underrepresented at Nintendo. Kotaku sources said that the percentage of female contractors testing games is about 10%, and it's very rare that they become full-time employees. Nintendo's own data shows that female employees make up around 37% of all full-time workers at Nintendo of America. Meanwhile, the company that provided contractors to Nintendo, Aerotech, has had multiple labor lawsuits filed against it over the years. Last year, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission forced Aerotech to pay over $3 million to settle an anti-discrimination lawsuit in regards to age, sex, and race. Aerotech later split into 3 companies, one of which is now known as Aston Carter. They continue to provide Nintendo with contract workers. In April, an anonymous employee filed a complaint against Nintendo and Carter with the National Labor Relations Board, claiming they violated their right to unionize. The allegations stated that Nintendo of America and Carter engaged in, quote, concerted activities and made coercive actions against a worker. And this is not the first time we have had reports of upset Nintendo workers. In May, IGN published its own lengthy exclusive about discontent among employees at Nintendo of America, especially contractors who complained about stressful work conditions. conditions, more and more job responsibilities, especially during the dog days of the Wii U, and limited chances for advancement. One employee during an interview for a full-time position at Nintendo was apparently forced to go home in the middle of the interview process due to the death of her sister. That led the interviewer at Nintendo to tell her she had, quote, attendance issues. The employee, known as Jen, eventually left after 10 years, told IGN later, "We loved working there. We were just being so exploited." She added, "We didn't really realize until we left. At Nintendo, I did it out of passion and a love of the product, and they know that there's a line out the door of people who will do exactly that for dog food, and that's the sad part." It doesn't look like Nintendo has commented publicly on any of this, but in the past they have responded to reports of bad working conditions. Kotaku in April wrote a story about contractors at Nintendo of America who feel like second-class citizens. In response to that, NOA CEO Doug Bowser internally acknowledged those allegations about the working conditions. He said that Nintendo has, quote, zero tolerance for inappropriate conduct, including harassment, discrimination, or intimidation. So yeah, not great to say the least. All right, we're going to get to the rest of the stories in just a second, but first, guys, let's talk about Shopify, my favorite e-commerce platform. Wait, what's that? I love that sound. It's the sound of another sale on Shopify, the all-in-one commerce platform to start, run, and grow your business. Shopify gives entrepreneurs the resources that were once reserved for the big boys, so upstarts, startups, established businesses alike can sell everywhere, synchronize online and in-person sales, and effortlessly stay informed. Scaling your business is a journey of endless possibility. We sell stuff over at Inside Gaming. We got shirts for sale. I love how Shopify has the tools and resources that make it easy for any business to succeed from down the street to around the globe. Like ours, Shopify powers millions of businesses from first sale to full scale. You can reach customers online and across social networks with an ever-growing suite of channel integrations and apps, including Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, and more. You can gain insights as you grow with detailed reporting of conversion rates, profit margins, and beyond. Here's what you have to do, guys. Go to shopify.com/insidegaming, all lowercase, for a free 14-day trial and get full access to Shopify's entire suite of features. Grow your business with Shopify today. Go to shopify.com/insidegaming right now. Shopify.com/insidegaming. On to the rest of the stories. So one of the biggest complaints, guys, about Grand Theft Auto 5 was the lack of single-player DLC. But great news, apparently it is coming back for GTA 6. This comes from an insider known as Tez2. They were asked on GTA forums about claims that the 6th game, at least the 6th mainline GTA game, would expand over time with regular updates. Tez2 responded that the, quote, expanding over time means Rockstar will go back to how they were planning future content before GTA Online success booms. They also said that the new cities and missions mentioned in previous GTA 6 reports to make up the game's DLC will definitely be planned out before 6 releases. They speculated that for the most part, we will receive instance new cities or islands, similar to how the Cayo Perico or North Yankton maps work. So this is great news because the DLC for GTA 4, if you remember, was awesome, and there apparently was single-player content planned for 5, but then GTA Online took off and they kind of scrapped that. It's great to see it's coming back for 6. Now, you might remember from the last generation that Microsoft quit giving out sales numbers for the Xbox One. That happened back in 2016. They started just giving us Xbox Live numbers instead. So that always left a question: how well did the Xbox One sell? And now we finally know, not great. It lost to the PS4 big time. In recent documents submitted to Brazilian regulators, this is about the Activision Blizzard acquisition, Microsoft admitted just how badly they lost to PlayStation last generation. In a translation, they wrote, Sony has surpassed Microsoft in terms of console sales and installed base, having sold more than twice as many as Xbox in the last generation. Now, a little math here. The PS4 sold more than 117 million units as of earlier this year. So that means the Xbox One sold, if it was less than half, somewhere less than 58.5 million units. Damn, not terrible, but yeah, they definitely got smoked by the PS4. All right, so here's some other news. Google Stadia, it's still around, guys. Apparently, I guess it's expanding. I don't know. This comes from 9to5 Google, who reports that the streaming service is expanding to new regions. They dug into the latest version update, and it adds language compatibility that includes Spanish, specifically as it's spoken in Mexico. Interestingly, they also added another dialect of Spanish as it's spoken throughout Latin America and the Caribbean. They also added Turkish, which is interesting because that basically includes Turkey and Northern Cyprus. Those do not have access to Stadia currently, so maybe they're expanding there too. Now, earlier this year, Google did announce that Stadia will be launching in Mexico in the coming months, so this is obviously preparation for that, but it sounds like they're expanding to more areas as well. I guess the Caribbean, other parts of Latin America. Get ready, Turkey also, so get excited for Stadia, guys. The rest of us aren't, but maybe y'all will be. All right, so this is an interesting tidbit of gaming history. There was apparently an open world Iron Man game in the works from the studio that brought us Just Cause. And we're not talking about Anthem, like a legit open world Iron Man game. So this comes from the founder of Avalanche Studios, Christopher Sundberg, who told the MinMax podcast that the open world Iron Man game was in development for a couple of years. And in the game, you could fly anywhere. You could punch people through walls with the repulsor gloves. Sundberg said there were so many great people involved in the game's development. He added, "It would have been great, I'm sure." So why didn't we get it? Well, it was canceled for unspecified reasons around 2012. Sundberg then left Avalanche a few years ago, founded a new studio called Liquid Swords. Nice Wu-Tang reference. They are working on a new IP with Unreal Engine 5. But yeah, it's definitely one of those gaming what-if stories. Sounded like it would have been cool. All right, time for a 5-second review. All right, so I roller skated a lot in the 80s. Everybody's birthdays were at roller rinks. It was not as cool as this game. We mainly skated in a circle for an hour and then ate pizza. It was fun though. All right, let's talk about the games coming out next week. First up, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Answer no, not here anyway. Based on the popular TV franchise, this charming couch co-op quiz game for 1 to 8 players will have you face more than 6,800 fully voiced questions. Prove how much you still know from school and that you are, in fact, smarter than a 5th grader. Comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 23rd. Midnight Fight Express. A former member of the criminal underworld is lured back into the life by a mysterious drone claiming they have until sunrise to prevent a citywide criminal takeover. It comes to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 23rd. Saints Row. Welcome to Santo Eliso, a vibrant fictional city in the Southwest. In a world rife with crime, a group of young friends embark on their own criminal venture as they rise to the top in their own bid to become self-made. Comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One August 23rd. SD Gundam Battle Alliance is a multiplayer Gundam action RPG where you can smash foes solo or with friends in thrilling mechanized combat. Acquire new mobile suits, power them up, and take them into battle in various missions. Comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 25th. Train Life, a railway simulator. For the first time in railroad simulation, play as both the driver and company director. Take the controls of your locomotives and grow your railway empire by negotiating deals and developing your network. Comes to PC August 25th. Pac-Man World Repack. In Pac-Man World Repack, Pac-Man arrives home on his birthday to find the ghosts have kidnapped Pac-Man's family and friends and ruined his party. Oh no! Pac-Man must set out to adventure through the 6 areas of Ghost Island to rescue his family and friends and face off against the Ghost's boss, Pac-Man. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch August 26th. And finally, Soul Hackers 2. Explore a supernatural RPG with stylish summoners and dark dangers lurking under the neon lights of a cyberpunk Japan. It's up to Ringo to save the world from apocalypse. Good luck, Ringo. It comes to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One August 26th. That is all the news I got for you this week, guys. I hope you're having a great weekend. We'll see you soon.